Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets.
You ever kissed Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that. But just for the record, I have a major crush on Jay-Z.
Did you Jay-Z?
Oh my God!
Blue, Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me, just like he did L.
But I wonder if we'll ever get closure to what happened to Blu Cantrell.
Okay, guys, this is Uncle Ron. I'm in the hospital. I got some busted ribs. I got plenty bruises. Oh, head's killing me. Oh, my leg may be busted.
For years, Beyonce and Jay-Z have reigned as the ultimate hip-hop power couple, exuding unmatched success, wealth, and influence. But behind the glitz and glamour are whispers of darkness that could shatter their perfect image. Beyonce's ex-bodyguard has spoken out about some things he's seen over the years, and it's been nothing short of crazy.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are.
All the single ladies,
how you stepped on many people.
All the single ladies.
Beyonce. How you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career.
They did say that.
Because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on the top. To remember, your relationship was a business relationship. Financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line. You don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused, that he was bigger than Bad Boy itself. Somebody, and we ain't gonna call no more names, dangled a bogus contract in front of his face so he wouldn't leave the company. How I know I was there. Another thing, Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. And I wonder who's the biggest hip-hop artist today. It's all business, folks. And unfortunately, you as a fan, most of you won't understand, but it was all about the business. And the two billionaires have done what they seeded to do. I was offered $30,000 to perform a hit on Biggie Smalls. March 1st of 1997, I was approached by Diddy to perform a hit on one of his artists. Finding out that he wanted all the rights to all his catalogs. I turned him down because I also found out that very night that Biggie had plans of leaving Bad Boy. Biggie should have never been in California to promote an album with a broken fibula bone, who can barely walk, to go to another studio when Diddy has his own studio in New York. Diddy is pure evil. He has a very nasty disposition. He treats everybody like crap. Every single employee he's ever had, he and his mother have looked down on them, belittled them, talked to them like they were the lowest scum on the earth, so he could always have his way. Amar, Muhammad, and Suge Knight, or Amir, they took the blame for something that was already getting ready to be in motion. It just happened at an earlier time, because on the 9th, Biggie was taken out. And I'm so glad to this day that I refused to do that. So under investigations and working and cooperating with FBI, my story is being told. There's so much more that we're going to talk about with Diddy.
Okay, guys, this is Uncle Ron. I'm in the hospital. I got some busted ribs. I got plenty bruises. Oh, head's killing me. Oh, my leg may be busted. I got jumped. Oh, man, it was a terrible, terrible incident. I tried my best to fight back. I just couldn't do it. It's hard to breathe. But I promise you, I'm gonna get those mosquitoes that beat me up. God help me. Y'all don't even worry about praying for me. Just kill the mosquitoes. I appreciate it.
According to Uncle Ron, Jay-Z also has ties to Diddy in one of the most infamous tragedies in rap, the death of the notorious B.I.G.
There's a whole other story going down, claims Uncle Ron, that P. Diddy may have something to do with Biggie Smalls' demise, and Jay-Z was involved too. Like, Jay-Z talked to Biggie hours before his saying, I spoke to him that night, and he was so happy to be in Los Angeles.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
The video with Uncle Ron's claims was taken down after only a few days, which is a little sus. But you know the internet, once something's posted, it isn't easily erased. What I want to know is, did Jay-Z and Beyonce have something to do with its removal? And talking about erasure, has anybody checked on Uncle Ron? He was afraid of speaking out in the past because he was, and still is, afraid for his children.
But see, when I start talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, some toes will curl for sure.
And like, did you see that photo of Ron in the hospital? Yikes. Do you think Beyonce knows the truth?
So it's a guy, right? It's a guy named Uncle Ron, right? I don't know if you've seen this video. You should have seen the video. It went viral. It was a real big video, man. It went viral, man. And his name is Uncle Ron. And he claims that he used to work for Puffy. He was one of Puffy bodyguards. And he said that Puffy offered him $30,000 to kill Biggie for his publisher. How you feel about that, yo? And do you know this guy?
Well, first and foremost, you got to realize this. Anybody can come on this internet and say anything, right? And dude is getting a whole lot of attention because people are even calling me, asking me about him, you know, and I don't know him from a can of paint. He even mentioned my name, saying that I know. I know what I know. I don't know what he knows. But I do know this, that it's only 3 people that had contracts with Puff and Bad Boy. Me, Wolf, and Paul Alford. If he didn't come through Paul Alford security, Green Gate security, he didn't have a contract with Puff. Because anybody who worked for Puff, other than me and Wolf, came through Green Gate security. That was Paul's security thing, especially at the time that he was saying that he worked for Puff. or Puff offered him $30,000. Now, anybody knows this, that Bad Boy took 50% of all this artist publishing, right? 50% of all the artist publishing straight out the rip. Then Puff gave Big $200,000 for the rest of his publishing. So what publishing did he was trying to get and keep from Puff? You understand? What publishing was Puff was trying to get when he already had it? He had already paid for it. What part of the catalog was he talking about? I don't understand that. And then he said that Puff offered him $30,000. I can't say he lied, but I can say that he wasn't a part of Bad Boy security that I know. I knew everybody who worked during them days. You understand? And I don't know dude from a can of paint.
So whoever this Uncle Ron dude is, he's a liar then. He's a fraud.
Is he a fraud? Bruh, he's what he is. He wasn't part of our security that I knew of. Not at that time. He never been on no trips with us. He never been at no parties, no nothing. So is he a fraud? The internet will have the real looking fake and the fake looking real. Put it together. How could he want Biggie publishing when he already had it? That's where he up at. That's where he up at. How you want something that you already own?
Yeah, you right. You right.
I know I am. That's where he up at. Bad Boy owns 50% of the already as an artist. They got 100%. Bad Boy takes 50% right off the top. Then he gave Big $200,000 for the rest of his publishing. So now the other stuff goes to the producers or whatever, of the music. So what is he talking about?
The claims that Jay-Z was involved in Biggie's death might not seem so shocking if you remember how Jay-Z and Beyonce once sabotaged Blu Cantrell's career.
Remember the singer Blu Cantrell? In 2014, Blu was placed in custody after being seen running in the streets, claiming to have been poisoned. Some speculate that her career took a downturn due to rumors surrounding Jay-Z.
I have a big crush on him now. I'll tell you that much. I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him.
Did you make that play?
I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it that way.
Once upon a time, Blu Cantrell was dominating the music industry. She had close ties to L.A. Reid and Jay-Z, and it seemed like everything was going right until Beyonce came into the picture and wanted Blu Cantrell to go away. Blu says Beyonce didn't like her friendship with Jay-Z and claims that Beyonce kept copying her music to try to get back at her. When Beyonce finally had enough, fans speculate that she worked with Jay-Z to end Blu for good, blackballing her from the music industry and leaving her on the street running around in chaos. But interestingly enough, Blu Cantrell must have stayed on this couple's mind because Beyonce and Jay-Z ended up naming their daughter Blue Ivy, and Blu Cantrell believes they did it to get back at her. So let's get into it. I have an interesting video for you guys about Beyonce and Blu Cantrell. Blu Cantrell was a singer who was in the music industry before Beyonce was, and they had a similar vibe, but that wasn't going to fly for Beyonce. Eventually, Blu's opportunities became less and less until their feud blew up. Emphasis on the Blue, because Beyonce named her daughter Blue Ivy, which Blu Cantrell believes is inspired by herself. It gets even messier when we see that Blu Cantrell is out here on the streets talking about being poisoned, and it seems like someone's trying to get rid of her. Nonetheless, this is a really complex story and a feud I didn't really know existed because Blu kind of has been erased. If it wasn't for one of her songs going viral on TikTok, people probably wouldn't be talking about this story. But let's go ahead and give you guys some background on who Blu Cantrell is. Now, Blu's real name is Tiffany Cobb. She moved from Rhode Island to New York City to try to make it as a singer. Even though she was super talented, she was 17, she had no connection, so she left New York City to go to Atlanta.
And someone came up to me and said I looked like a singer, but it really was a pickup line, and I took my mom and my family and we went to the studio and I sang and they signed me. And like 2 weeks later, I had a record deal.
So Blue really did that. I mean, it sounds like a movie. But before long, Blue had 5 different record labels fighting to sign with her. Eventually, Blue agreed to sign with Arista Records, though she may have signed on that dotted line a little bit too eagerly. So Blue knew that she belonged in this industry. I mean, at first, she wasn't entirely sure where she fit in, but she was talented with her voice, and people saw that.
I think I always wanted to be a performer since I was very young. It was something that I knew I wanted to do. It was the only thing I ever did, actually.
Now, in the late 90s, she was introduced to L.A. Reid, who is kind of a scary dude if you guys seen my video about him. But with his help, she released her debut solo album, which quickly shot to the top of the Billboard charts.
There goes the dreams we used to say. There goes the times we spent away.
Actually, one of her songs she released in 2001, Hit 'Em Up Style, Oops, is actually the song that's gone on TikTok and went viral, has like 11.8 million views on the app, so her music still hits. But let's get back to how she got involved in the industry and how she got so close with such important people. I mean, they were crucial to her career, but also a big part of her demise.
Well, LA called me himself and told me, he said, Blue, he's like, your song is #1 today. And I was totally ecstatic. He's always the one to call me with the good news. Like when they said I was nominated for a Grammy, he called me. He always calls his artists and really, connects with them and spends time with them.
Now, Blue's success did not stop there. She released her album So Blue, which was certified platinum. Then, throughout 2003, she released her second album, Bittersweet. It includes a hit single titled Breathe featuring Sean Paul, which coincidentally became a TikTok hit as well, thanks to Troye Sivan's cover.
Yo, dirty, so what's that supposed to be about, baby?
Now, you guys know when a female artist is doing well in the industry, they like to pit them against each other. I mean, who's like a recent one? I feel like, Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion, they did that to themselves. I mean, they were already pitted against each other, but like, maybe Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter, but like they kind of feel like they get along, right? I mean, their feud's old. But in the mix of all of Blue's success, she was constantly plagued with rumors that she had an intense feud with Beyonce. Of course, Beyonce is arguably the biggest pop star in the world to date, but in the early 2000s, Beyonce had just launched her solo career. And when she was releasing her solo music, she was with Jay-Z, who already was a big figure in the industry. Since Blue had a close friendship with Jay-Z and was releasing chart-topping R&B singles right around the same time as Beyonce started to, it was only a matter of time before the whisper started. Now, Blue actually admitted at one point that she had a crush on Jay-Z, which already is enough fuel for Beyonce not to like her. But speculation on social media suggests that Blu Cantrell was blackballed from the industry after this drama. And allegedly, the beef between Blue and Beyonce grew in 2003 when they both released a song with Sean Paul. And these songs had some similarities. Fans say that Beyonce's line, Let Me Breathe, is directed towards Blue, who also released a song with Sean Paul titled Breathe months before.
Let me breathe. Stay out of my fantasy.
Yo, hey, yo, dirty, so what's that supposed to be about, baby?
Alright, so there's a classic Wendy Williams interview where she asked this.
Is it crazy? Oh my god! I heard him tell what a horse joke.
Before I let you hear the response, let me give you the backstory. The lady Wendy's interviewing is Blu Cantrell,
That's my sister, Blu Cantrell.
who is famously known for a 2001 single Hit 'Em Up Style. Now this was during a period when every song on radio was a diss towards men. Yeah, we had it rough. Anyway, the reason why Wendy was asking this question is because almost immediately as Blu Cantrell hit the scene, dating rumors started swirling about her and Jay-Z.
Why do people not want to let the Jay-Z Blu Cantrell thing go?
I'll tell you why. It's because Jay-Z was already dating Beyonce. Let's be honest, they do kind of look alike, right?
Have anybody ever tell you you look like Beyonce?
Nah, they usually tell me I look like Shalissa.
Who the is that?
Me, man.
Comparisons between the two were ramped up when Blu Cantrell accused Beyonce of copying her style.
What?
I know what you're thinking. She's reaching, right? But on closer inspection, she does have a point. Example number 1. Blu Cantrell claims Beyonce and Jay-Z stole the video concept for Bonnie and Clyde from a song she featured on called Roundup.
That's that country.
Now, Roundup was released in June of 2002. 4 months later, Beyonce and Jay-Z released Bonnie and Clyde.
Ready, B? Let's go get 'em.
You have to admit, they do kind of look similar, right? Example number 2. In February of 2003, Blu Cantrell released Breathe, featuring Sean Paul. 6 months later, Beyonce released Baby Boy. Now, there is the argument that Sean Paul was just hot at that time, but in Baby Boy, Beyonce has a line where she says this.
Let me breathe, stay out of my fantasy.
At the time, many felt this was an indirect reference to Blu Cantrell's single Breathe.
Yeah, so what's that supposed to be about, baby?
That same year, Beyonce had another single on her Dangerously in Love album called Signs, where she says this.
I was in love with a Sagittarius. He blew my mind. You know how to show me love, 'cause I've been hurt by a Pisces.
You guessed it. Jay-Z was born on the 4th of December, making him a Sagittarius. And Blu Cantrell was born on the 16th of March. I guess making her the Pisces she was hurt by? I don't know. But we all know what happens to people who go against the queen.
You wanna hold the magazine?
Get somebody else to do it.
You learn though.
As the years went on, Beyonce's star continued to rise, whilst Blu slowly dimmed. She continued to perform live and had a brief stint on NBC's reality show Celebrity Circus. But on September the 3rd, 2014, Blu Cantrell was seen running the streets of Santa Monica at 2 a.m., screaming that somebody had poisoned her with gas. When the police arrived, witnesses said they heard Blu asking authorities if they recognized her, whilst at the same time referring to herself as a one-hit wonder. And the police might not have known her name, and that's probably because in this day and time, the only Blu people tend to know is Blue Ivy Carter. As for Blu Cantrell's response to Wendy's question,
It's a crazy. Oh my God!
No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
In the same video, Jaguar addressed Blu Cantrell and encouraged her to speak out on what she experienced with Jay-Z.
Blue. The first Blue. Not they daughter Blue. Blu Cantrell. It was time to talk. Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me. Just like he did Elle. Just like he did his relationship with R. Kelly. Just like he did his relationship with Aaliyah.
The mysteries surrounding Beyonce don't stop with career sabotage or industry power plays. For years, whispers and rumors have circulated about something far more sinister. Claims that Beyonce practices witchcraft.
A witch! Double, toil and trouble. That's what Beyonce's saying as she escapes a restraining order from her former drummer who, get this, accused her of witchcraft. What's up, Holly Scoopers? I'm Kate DeRocher. While there's always been a fun little joke about how Beyonce's in the Illuminati, I never thought I'd see the day where she was literally accused of performing witchcraft and dark magic. But as we told you guys a couple weeks ago, that's exactly what Beyonce's former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, is claiming. Like Devin told you, Beyonce's old band member requested a restraining order against Queen Bee after saying she was performing extreme witchcraft and dark magic to torture her. You guys, what a time to be alive. She took it so far as to say that Beyonce's cast magic spells of sexual molestation against her and even killed her kitten. You guys, celebs can be cray, but this is just next level absurd. Which is how the judge felt too, because we just found out the drummer's restraining order has been denied.
You are
That's right, Bayswan must have some impressive power because Kimberly didn't even show up for her court hearing. And as a result, the judge dismissed the entire case. Either it was the Illuminati, the work of some special spells, or Kimberly just came to her senses. But no matter what caused her absence, she clearly won't be getting what she wanted. I think it's obvious that Beyonce isn't some Salem witch trials descendant and that this entire case was crazy from the start. I mean, Kimberly was saying things that were absolutely nuts. Like swearing that Beyonce tapped her phone lines to monitor everything she says, for example. The wacko drummer even said Queen Bee had control of her finances.
Nia Wesley is in the house. Nia, what is going on?
Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. Beyonce's ex-drummer of 7 years, she is seeking a restraining order against Beyonce. She's accusing her of dark magic, witchcraft, tapping into her phone bill, and basically controlling her finances, harassing her. She's saying the Beyonce camp is put up a huge harassment campaign against her, and it's overall witchcraft. She sought a restraining order in the past, it got denied, and she has another one scheduled for October 11th, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And you know, I was just at the Beyonce concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience, but I didn't expect any, I didn't experience any witchcraft whatsoever, but I'll be interested to see how this plays out.
Bewitching Beyonce. Did Queen Bee practice witchcraft on one of her musicians? In this Daily Mail TV exclusive, the drummer who claims she was put under Beyonce's spell is now speaking out.
The fact that people keep saying I'm crazy, hell, the situations I had to deal with and survive are crazy.
Kimberly Thompson says she is tormented from being put under manic sexual spells by Beyonce.
We're talking about other situations where changing into animals and jumping into other bodies and all kinds of really crazy stuff.
In bizarre court papers, Thompson claims Beyonce, she refers to as this person, has started a campaign of harassment against her that includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of sexual molestation. She also claims Beyonce murdered her kitten after the singer put a spell on it.
They were like, the cat has a spell on it. The cat was taken back to her people, and they killed it.
It's unclear why Thompson is speaking out now, even though she says Beyonce has been at it since 2006.
She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress. She's just been a savage.
Senior correspondent Tara Burney joins us now. And Tara, these claims are bizarre.
Really strange.
Has Beyonce responded at all to these?
Jesse, Beyonce's a little busy. She's on tour with Jay-Z. They're finishing up in LA, so they have not responded. And as far as Thompson, her request for a temporary restraining order was denied by a judge, most likely because of the nonsensical rantings about witchcraft. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
How often judges have to rule on something like this, as bizarre as this. What were Thompson's other claims here?
There's a lot of them. First, that Beyonce stole money from her. She had her stalked, she had her bullied. Thompson said she had to move several different times to different cities because she was casting spells on her work and her relationships, and she couldn't hold down a job, and she couldn't find a boyfriend.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say there will be no legal repercussion for Beyonce.
I don't think so. I don't think she is on her radar.
I'm not a lawyer, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. Tara, thank you.
All right. By the end of 2013, Beyonce had dropped a surprise album on us, and this year she proved once again that she runs the world. But 2014 also had its fair share of unexplained mysteries and surprises involving the Queen Bee.
In May, surveillance footage leaked of Beyonce's sister Solange physically attacking Jay-Z in an elevator after the Met Gala. The story made international headlines, and the family released a joint statement that read in part, "We have moved forward as a united family," offering no explanation to what triggered the incident. Bee even referenced the controversy in her remix of Flawless featuring Nicki Minaj. Following Elevator Gate, rumors ran wild that Beyonce and Jay-Z were headed for divorce. Adding fuel to the fire, Beyonce was seen apartment hunting solo and changed key lyrics to her song Resentment during a stop on her and Jay's On the Run tour.
I know she was attractive, but been riding with you for 12 years. Why did I deserve?
In true Beyonce fashion, she combat the rumors by posting several sweet pics of her hubby and daughter Blue on her Instagram account. But Bee's Instas also stirred up some controversy. The thigh gap and questionable blunt bangs sent the internet on a tizzy. And yet through it all, she still managed to surprise fans again this year with 2 major releases.
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
She re-recorded her 2003 hit Crazy in Love for the 50 Shades of Grey trailer and released the platinum edition of her groundbreaking visual album Beyonce, featuring 2 new songs including 7-Eleven.
I know you can.
She gave us plenty to talk about this year, that's for sure. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's to sleep with one eye open, because you never know when another Beyonce surprise could strike.
So, what do you think? Is this the end of the road for Beyonce? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.